Food plots are incredibly popular among hunters and deer managers, and they are used across the Whitetail's range to provide high-quality forage for deer and attraction sites for hunters. Food plots can provide tons of food per acre, and some species such as corn, sorghum, and sunflowers can also provide cover. Food plots can also attract numerous insects, which provide additional food for turkeys, quail, and other birds. Research at the University of Georgia has even shown that clover plots benefit forest songbirds, including several species that are declining and of national concern. Remember that tip when talking to anti-hunters about the importance of hunting to wildlife conservation. On the flip side, food plots can be expensive to plant and maintain, and this is especially true given the current prices of fuel and fertilizer. Herbicide, lime, seed, and fertilizer can range from $200 to $400 per acre that you plant, and this doesn't include equipment costs, labor, or fuel. Few landowners spend even a fraction of this amount per acre to manage their forest land or early successional habitats. So given this, more and more landowners and deer managers are food plotting on a budget today. So here are a few ways to reduce your food plot expenditures while still providing high-quality forage for whitetails. First, if you live in an area that freezes during winter, you can save fuel and equipment costs by frost seeding a portion of your plots. Frost seeding involves spreading seed on a frozen ground and allowing the freeze-thaw cycle that occurs as spring approaches to provide good seed-to-soil contact. This works best with minimal to no competing vegetation, and you achieve this by spraying the field with the appropriate herbicide the fall before you frost seed, or by frost seeding the field that was planted in an annual the year before. Where I live in northern Pennsylvania, green up occurs in mid-April, so the preferred time for frost seeding is generally from late February through March, and I prefer to frost seed onto a couple of inches of snow if possible. You can frost seed cool season perennials such as alfalfa, clover, trefoil, and chicory, and cool season annuals like oats, wheat, or rye. Don't frost seed warm season annuals like corn or soybeans, and while brassicas can be frost seeded, I prefer to plant them later in the summer. You can frost seed a new plot or frost seed cool season species into an existing plot that is thinning. You won't get as high of a germination rate as you do with more intensive planting techniques, but it's one way to save money, and I've had great results from frost seeding during the past several years. Another way to save some money is to reduce your fertilizer costs by planting legumes. Legumes are species that take nitrogen from the air and convert it in the soil to a form that is usable by the plant. Popular legumes for deer include alfalfa, clover, trefoil, soybeans, and peas. And with regard to savings, white clover can fix 50 to 200 pounds of nitrogen per acre. Using current nitrogen fertilizer costs, this is a savings of $40 to $160 an acre. I don't know about you, but I sure appreciate the fact that I don't have to purchase that nitrogen or apply it to my plot. Plus then, whatever nitrogen is left in the soil when you replant the field can be used by the new plant species. This is one reason why clover is arguably the most commonly planted species for whitetail. A third way to food plot on a budget goes hand in hand with what we just discussed. We can reduce fertilizer costs for plants requiring nitrogen by taking advantage of the nitrogen in the soil created by legumes. For example, corn and brassicas are great for deer, but they both require a lot of nitrogen. Planting these species in fields that grew legumes the year before allows them to scavenge nitrogen the legumes created and reduces the amount of nitrogen we need to purchase and apply. This is why farmers routinely rotate corn and soybeans. Corn needs a lot of nitrogen, and soybeans are a legume that creates it. A final way to food plot on a budget is to buy your lime, fertilizer, and herbicide in bulk. Get with your neighbors, co-op members, and others and pool your needs. You can often get discounts when buying fertilizer by the ton versus in 50-pound bags, or when buying lime and herbicide in larger quantities. This can be a great way to start a QDM cooperative or to keep co-op members happy and engaged.